In the wide, dry plains of Africa, where the sun burns hot and the grass grows tall, lived a strong and fearless lion named Brocco. Brocco was the leader of a powerful lion pride. He was large, with golden fur and a thick, dark mane. All the animals in the area knew his roar, and they respected him. Brocco had won many fights, chased away rivals, and protected his family from danger. Not far from Brocco's territory, near a muddy waterhole, lived a giant rhino named Kovu. Kovu was calm and quiet, but very strong. He had thick gray skin like armor and a long, sharp horn on his nose. He didn't start fights, but if anyone came too close or tried to challenge him, Kovu would defend himself without fear. He liked peace, but he was never afraid to stand his ground. One hot afternoon, the sun was shining bright, and most animals were hiding in the shade. Brocco was hungry. He hadn't eaten in 2 days, and the pride needed food. He smelled something in the wind. Water. And near water, animals would gather. He decided to go there and check. As Brocco walked through the tall grass, his golden body moved silently. He reached the edge of the waterhole and crouched low. He saw zebras, antelopes, and a few warthogs drinking water. But none of them were close enough. They were too far in the open, and if he charged, they would run. Then Brocco saw Kovu, the rhino, walking slowly toward the waterhole. The smaller animals stepped aside to give him space. Kovu dipped his head and started drinking. His thick body moved slowly, but every step made the ground shake. Brocco didn't usually bother with rhinos. They were too big, too dangerous. But today, Brocco was desperate. He thought, if I can scare him away, the others will panic. Maybe I can grab a zebra in the confusion. Brocco stood up from the grass and walked slowly toward the waterhole. The smaller animals saw him and ran. But Kovu didn't move. He lifted his head and looked straight at the lion. Brocco growled and took another step closer. He was testing the rhino's reaction. Kovu snorted and pawed the ground with his heavy foot. Dust rose around him. The two powerful animals stared at each other. Suddenly, Brocco charged forward. He didn't want to fight the rhino. He just wanted to scare him. But Kovu didn't run. Instead, Kovu lowered his head, pointed his horn forward, and charged too. Boom! The ground shook as lion and rhino collided. Brocco tried to dodge at the last second, but Kovu's horn scraped his side, cutting through fur and skin. Brocco roared in pain and jumped back. He circled around quickly, growling and baring his teeth. Kovu stood still, his horn pointed toward the lion, waiting for the next move. Brocco leaped forward, aiming for Kovu's back. But Kovu turned just in time. The lion landed on Kovu's side and tried to bite, but the rhino's thick skin was too tough. Kovu shook his body and spun around. Brocco flew off and landed in the dust. They paused again. Both were breathing hard. Animals watched from the tall grass, too scared to move. This was a rare sight. Two kings of strength facing off. Brocco's side was bleeding. Kovu had a scratch on his shoulder from the lion's claws. Both were hurt, but neither wanted to back down. Brocco growled louder, then made one more brave leap. This time, he aimed for Kovu's face. But Kovu lifted his horn and tossed his head upward just in time. The horn hit Brocco's chest and threw him into the air. Brocco hit the ground hard and didn't move for a moment. His breathing was heavy, his body weak. He tried to stand, but his leg was hurt. Kovu stepped closer, but didn't attack again. He looked at the lion and snorted. He wasn't angry. He had only fought because he had to. Brocco looked up at the rhino. He realized he couldn't win this fight. He had courage, but Kovu had power, and today was not the day to fight a beast like him. Slowly, Brocco stood and limped away into the tall grass. Kovu watched him go, then turned back to the waterhole and continued drinking, calm once more. As the sun began to set, the smaller animals returned to the water. The fight was over. Brocco returned to his pride with wounds, but also wisdom. He learned that day that not every fight is worth winning, and not every beast can be defeated by force. Sometimes strength means knowing when to walk away. Kovu remained the silent guardian of the waterhole. He didn't roar, he didn't chase, but everyone knew. If you challenged him, you'd face a mountain with a horn. And so, in the wild lands of Africa, the tale of the lion and the rhino spread. A story of bravery, strength, and respect between two of nature's mightiest animals.